can't start with this. That's awful. Are you kidding me? We're geese. Apparently.
Oh,
everyone, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Steven. This is 60 Cycle Hum, the guitar buying, selling, trading, modding, fixing, breaking, reviewing, playing podcast.
That's true,
I
Steve.
feel like I'm losing my voice.
I feel like I'm gaining mine.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm draining the mana from you. I actually feel like I'm losing my voice too.
That blue juice on the video game screen.
Yeah, sucking up that blue juice.
Down. I'm gonna have to rely on melee attacks because I'll be out of mana. Ryan, this
lightning bolt. How did we end up here? Let's do our guitar podcast.
First ad was sent by Ralph Pacheco. He's local. Is this ad local?
Can't be.
This ad is in Homemade Instruments. Nice to meet you.
Oh yeah, this is a group. I asked to join the group after seeing this.
Nice.
I had to.
Nice to meet you. I'm enjoying music in Japan. Let me introduce the cat-shaped electric guitar and bass I made. The body is made from plywood glued together, and the neck is a commercially available one. Looks like the one on the bass looks like a Fender neck. Those are instruments.
Now here, Steve, you already know what the debate is. Which side are you taking?
Is
it a tail or is it an extra leg?
I think it's an extra leg.
I think it's a tail.
You think it's a tail?
I think it's a tail.
I mean, I can see why it's supposed to be a tail.
Why are we dancing around calling it a dick?
Because we're in the first 2 minutes of the episode and we don't want to
know what they're in for.
It's about the algorithm.
Oh, come on.
We have to keep the algorithm happy. I put my headphones on backwards.
Oh, the stereo's all wrong for Steve.
Oh, it sounds so much better now.
Okay. Oh yeah.
No, it really does.
It was upside down.
It really does.
All right.
That
little headphone side tangent there is going to make it so much harder for RJ to clip this into a vertical. Thanks a lot, Steve. Apologize to RJ right now.
Sorry, RJ. Just making him earn his money. Do your job. Jeez.
Yeah. We want the Patreons to get what they pay for.
I like that. Oh, this is so fun. It's the Nyander and the Nyaster. That's so, Nyaster's a little forced, but Nyander is perfect. Oh my God, I did it.
What'd you do, Steve?
I said it's perfect.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't even do it on purpose.
Perfect.
So friend of the show, Hugh, has told me before that like I'm punning all the time. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, you said this thing. I was like, oh shoot, that was a pun. Yeah, I was like, it wasn't on purpose. He goes, that's because you just live there.
What's a good pun?
So
what do you call it when you do a pun on accident?
Hold on.
It's good and you don't even know that you did it.
It's just, that's God tier punning. But you get Nyander, right? You know about Nyander.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Nyan, the Japanese word for cat, apparently. Something like that.
Cat. We haven't even shared our opinions yet. We've just been so enamored with this. I can tell Steve is enamored because I'm enamored.
So
we are talking about a bass and guitar pair here for the audio listeners who still listen to the audio podcast and have no idea what we're talking about. It's a guitar and a bass, a matching set, and the bodies are cat bodies. And the way that you're imagining the cat bodies
I read the description.
Are wrong.
Cat-shaped electric guitar.
Yeah, it's shaped like cats laying on their backs with their bellies up, ready for scratchies. And guess what? You're going to strum right where they want scratchies.
Yeah.
And then the neck represents a very long, straight appendage, which I think is a tail. And it's got stripes on it like tails. Steve, who has a dirty, filthy mind, thinks that those are cat wieners.
They're cat. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm open.
Steve, if those are the wiener, you show me the back. If the back plate has balls on it, then I'll believe that they're wieners.
There's no back of this instrument.
I guess we'll never know.
There's no pictures of the back.
Maybe he's just hiding the balls.
The puns continue in other places though, because these pickups on the bass are Seymour Catkins.
No.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I think that's what it says. Something like that. So this is really clever.
It's an amazing match set.
I don't know if they play good, but the dude is playing them like on stage, so it's at least good enough for him.
All Japanese guitars are awesome, right?
Yeah.
And they're weirdly
Oh my gosh,
they're weirdly functional shapes. Like this is a novelty shape that works so perfectly. This might be the best novelty shaped guitars I've ever seen.
They kind of lack fret access.
There's enough. Come on. How much more fret access do you need on that bass?
No, the bass is fine, but the guitar you can only really access 16,
yeah, but that's
16 frets.
that's a strummer. You know that cat's all money.
It's a punk cat.
So the cats are laying on their back, their legs are spread wide open, and the tail's just coming right down the middle, and you're just all over the tail shredding on these cats. One cat doesn't look too happy about it. The guitar cat is like, oh man, come on.
The guitar cat's a little miffed for sure. The bass cat though is digging it.
The bass cat is like, you found the spot. That's the spot right there. Yeah. Don't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah. These are amazing. These need to go into production. Like I know this is.
Yeah, these aren't for sale. This isn't even an ad.
No, you can't buy these. It's on homemade instruments that this guy uses in his band.
Yeah.
But people would buy these. I guarantee you there's someone in the comments right now saying they would buy this. I'm not talking about like not just the comments, but the premiere chat.
The comments like, on this picture.
Yeah, Snarky wants them both. Not Snarky, Sassy Cat.
Sassy Cat wants
wants them both. Snarky probably wants one too.
Yeah. No, he probably just wanted them if they were dogs.
Yeah, he'd be like, "Can you make dogs?" But how brilliant is that? You are, despite the suggestive implications of the tail, which it is, you are scratching the animal's belly by playing it. You're strumming that guitar. You're scratching a kitty's belly. You're thumping on the bass. You're giving it a tickle.
I like the way the plywood glued together. I like the way the body is it's chambered.
It is chambered.
It's got all these chambers.
Well, you don't want a cat to be heavy. You know?
Keep that cat light.
These would be so heavy if they weren't chambered.
Oh my gosh, right?
Yeah.
Especially plywood.
Yeah. This is mostly glue.
They're probably pretty heavy.
Oh, they probably are pretty dang heavy. So yeah, any weight reduction you can get is going to be great. Looking at the picture, I am so surprised that the strap button doesn't go off that upper leg. It goes to the back of the neck. I would have put it on the upper leg, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that would have pushed it too far forward or something like that. Yeah, this thing's going to be heavy. Looking at the chambering, like that's not enough. Super fun though.
Oh, that's a cable. There's like a red spot here. I was trying to figure out what that is.
Yeah, that's a cable.
That's a cable.
I mean,
that strap is so tiny too. It's like a little 1-inch strap.
I think it's a clear one.
Oh, is it clear? Is that
you might be right. It might be a little 1-inch strap. So that's just gonna be cut through his shoulder.
It's just an old school 60s little strap.
Yeah, you might be right.
This is really cool.
It's super cool. I don't know if anyone else. Should we just end the episode? Should we just vote right now?
Thanks everyone for watching.
Yeah, Ralph won. By the way, if you want to send in your own listings, your own guitar oddities that you find on the internet, whether it be in a Facebook group like this or Craigslist or Reverb. That's crazy. No one ever minds Reverb for anything. Bay, Kijiji, OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, etc., etc., etc. You find weird stuff there, email it to us at 60cyclehumcast@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know in the title that it's an ad or a listing. And if we choose your ad and you're our favorite of the episode, we do 3 an episode, we're going to give you a $25 digital gift certificate printed on a heavy virtual card stock for you to use at the retailer or fast food establishment of your choice. And I had the idea earlier today, Steve.
Yeah.
Should have done this during the holidays, but we could give people who don't want the card, who don't want a gift card in their life, we could give them the option to select a charity.
Oh, well, so on that, the winner from last week declined the card. So maybe I'll reach back out to them and say, hey, the charity that they wanted us to donate to, I forgot about this, was the Ryan and Steve Drink Beer Fund.
You know what? It is a good cause.
Yeah.
It is a good cause for sure.
You know what? I don't know what this says about.
It's well funded already, though.
I don't know what this says about me. I bought a 24 pack of Sierra Nevada Celebration. Their winter IPA. I drank one of them, and I'm just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna take the rest of them to NAM because I just
Sure.
like I used to really enjoy that beer, and I just tried it, and I was like,
wasn't into it, huh?
Yeah, and it was like something about drinking a beer at home just was not enjoyable.
Interesting.
Maybe it's because I was drinking it at night. Maybe I'm only wanting
morning beer.
Maybe I only want a day drink at home. I don't know. It was weird.
And you could use that. Anyway. You could use that as a pretty interesting beer batter.
Well, what we
make some fish and chips.
What we used to do is pass it forward. If someone declined, we would pass it to the next person. I don't know if we want to try to do that again.
Nah, no, keep it $25. That's silly because then someone's going to be ordering 55. Like Starbucks gift is a joke, Steve. Have you watched
yes.
that show? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. They're going to want 55 hash browns is what I'm saying.
That wasn't was that built on a pass it forward?
Yeah.
Or pay it forward?
Yeah, it was a pay it forward bit.
They're like,
did you ever never watch the full bit?
I've seen the full bit. It's just been like a year. All
right.
I watched the full bit.
Okay.
Speaking of full bits.
We're going back to the cat guitars.
No. This episode's brought to you all by Chase Bliss. They thought they were going to sell like 500, 1,000 mystery boxes, and they sold like 10,000.
Yeah, like 10,000, actually 10,000.
That is a full bit of mystery boxes.
Mine is coming, as of this episode airing, it came last Friday. So, yeah. But we're filming on a Tuesday, so you do the math.
So are you going to wait to open it until we record again?
It depends on what's going on over the weekend. I might
standalone.
I might do a little standalone video of that.
Fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, I held on to mine for like weeks to record it on an episode, but you do you. I'm kidding. No, that's fine.
I didn't know you had emotions tied up to this, Steve. You want to be here for the unboxing?
I don't really care.
Hey, listen, buddy. You want to be here for the unboxing?
No, not really.
Now I definitely know he wants to be here.
If you want to know about any future Chase Bliss cool things, go to their website, chasebliss.com, get on their mailing list, and then you'll find out when they do cool stuff like mystery boxes.
I'm excited. I can't wait.
Yeah. What do you think? Are all the golden pins accounted for yet? Do you know?
I don't know. I like that this thing's turned into a real life Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
I've got a basement full of local teenagers unboxing Chase Bliss mystery boxes from me. And there's a big weasel. There's no like morality tale to it. It's just there. It's just there. It's just one of the kids brought it. Where'd you get the big weasel?
Where'd you get the big weasel?
Is that the title of the episode?
No. I mean, maybe it should be. But speaking of big weasels, no. So you posted a thing on Threads.
Oh, this episode's off the chain.
That people kind of like, the most common response was, "Oh, it's the one you have," or whatever.
Right. Most people went for the easy joke response instead of giving me an actual answer.
And the question was, what is the most valuable squires?
Was it? I should look it up. Make sure the wording is absolutely correct, Steve.
Yeah.
What is the most valuable Squire guitar? I said guitar.
No basses.
Just in case. Well, a bass is a guitar. Just in case the algorithm wasn't cooking for me, I wanted to know that I was asking about guitars.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because I didn't want a bunch of people answering like their favorite assistant to their favorite knight or whatever.
Yeah.
Of the round table. Like this is the wrong spelling of Squire.
Oh.
The spelling was very important in the post.
That way?
The spelling was very important to the post because people would assume I was talking about the people who help knights, like their assistants, and then they would be like, "You spelled it wrong." And I'd be like, I spelled it right.
I don't think anybody was going to assume that.
Well, these are the things I worry about, Steve. Have fun clipping that one, RJ.
I'm trying to find. So I went through and pulled and actually.
I like how antagonistic we are towards RJ. Are you looking for your email?
Yeah. Where's my email?
It's in there somewhere. But I made the whole thing. But you want to be able to look at all the specs.
I want to go in. Oh, there it is. Oh, oh my gosh! It's because I can't explain this. Okay.
Steve sent an email to himself and couldn't figure out who sent it to him.
Because I was looking for Steve in the name.
But yeah, you sent it from 60 Cycle Hum?
No, I sent it from my personal.
Oh, okay.
But for whatever reason, my name in the contacts of my iPad is Cupcake. I think my kid did that to me. And so I'm looking for it, and I realized that the email is the subject. The to line is Cupcake.
I know it just started, but this is the best episode of the year.
All right, most valuable.
And I mean the year just started.
Yeah, most valuable Squires.
Here we go. We're finally on the topic.
I think I learned a couple things here while doing this list.
Yeah, I learned some things just getting the photos for you.
Here's what I'd like to do. I want to go 10 to 1.
By the way,
what we're going to do is we're going to go 10 to 2.
This is Steve's baby. Like I did the Threads post, like, oh, that'd be a fun idea. And then I pitched it to Steve, and he set all the rules, and he found all the information, and he organized it. And I just got some screen grabs so we could look at them.
Yeah. So this is the top 10.
This is Steve's guitar thesis.
Top 10 most valuable Squires. I set a couple rules for myself. There's one that I wanted on here that I didn't find. That I couldn't find again.
Okay.
But I didn't want, like, there was an Aretha Franklin signed like Squire Affinity for $8,000.
Wow.
Like, but that's like,
it's a signed one. It's a signed. Okay.
So,
go through your rules. Go through your rules.
So nothing that's just like, this is worth money because some random person signed it.
Right.
The one that I left off here that I was going to put as an honorable mention is there's a 2004 Squire Esprit signed by Robin Ford. And the Esprit was a 1980s Fender model that Squire reissued, I think, as part of the Masterbuilt series. And that was the Esprit was the Robin
like a
Ford
score
signature.
Multiplier there.
So that's exactly, it's like, oh, you got the Robin. It's like, I don't know. It's like if somebody else bought a Manta Hawk and then got you to sign it.
Right, right.
Like, yeah.
So let's give this a clean intro here. Here we go, guys. The top 10 most valuable Squires ever.
Coming in at number 10.
We're starting at 10. Here we go.
Number 10, the John 5 Squire Telecaster.
According, because one of Steve's rules is that he found all completed listings.
Most of them, almost all of them are completed listings.
Right, which is to prove that this is the money that they went for. It's not just some joker on the internet trying to get $10,000 for something.
Exactly, and one of one of the ones I put down as an honorable mention is that it is a guy selling his wife's guitar for $6,000.
Right, right.
And he's like, I just have this listed for $6,000, and if it sells, then my wife can buy a Les Paul. And the whole thing reads like it's not really.
It's half a joke,
his wife,
but also it doesn't hurt to try.
Yeah.
So, anyways, what we got here is a gold Telecaster, and by gold I mean everything's gold except for the nut, the frets, and the fretboard and the pickups. Yep. The pickups could have been gold. Why are the pickups not gold?
This is the most expensive of the John 5 Telecasters. Mm-hmm. But I was seeing a lot of them in like the $700 to $900 range. This one just happened to have sold in the UK for $914 plus.
Well, that shipping would have been
is to me, right?
That shipping would have been for us. We can't really count the shipping in this.
No, but $914. How much do you know about John 5?
Well, wasn't he the guitarist for Marilyn Manson?
He was the guitarist for Marilyn Manson.
And doesn't he have his own stuff that he does too?
Yeah, and he's the Joe Bonamassa of Telecasters.
Right. I know. Like, he's a lick machine.
When he dies, the average value of all Telecasters on planet Earth will probably go down like $300.
Yeah. Speaking of lick machines, remember the cat guitars?
That's not really funny, but it's funny. That was pretty good. So this is one of
John 5, undeniable, great guitar player. Like no one would ever say otherwise, right?
Yeah, this
and
is
if they would, I'd tell them they're wrong.
This is one of two signature models on the list. I thought the Joe Troman might make the list. Joe Troman is a guitar player for My Chemical Romance, but it did not.
Steve knew that he was going to have to say that to me, even though I'd been in the same room on the same stage as the man.
Yeah. We packed up our gear and drove away while Joe Troman was playing guitar.
We enjoyed the same catering that he
We
did.
enjoyed the same box of Frosted Flakes.
Oh, that was Cypress Hill.
Yeah.
You guys don't know what we're talking about, and I'm not going to elaborate.
Oh, you numbered them. Thank you. I didn't realize you numbered them.
I did it all for you, Steve.
Wow. I really don't need my list.
No, that's what I was...
Oh, thanks, bud.
You bet.
All right, coming in at number 9.
I'll save the unboxing for you.
Don't save the unboxing for me. Make a full, make a 10-minute video.
Okay.
This is a theme that will come up a bit, and this was the last one that I found of this set. The Squire Vista Jagmaster at $950.
I always wish I'd bought one of these. They were selling these for like $400 when they came out, and that might have even been higher than they were going for.
The Vista Jagmasters were the ones that really bottomed out in 2001 too.
Yeah. And Eagle Bones Falcon Hawk from the Aquabats, when he first started playing with them, he was using a Silver Sparkle.
Oh, cool.
Jagmaster. Yeah. Oh, also the guitarist from Bad Credit. You had a Jagmaster, and it's like, man, that's a cool guitar. I wish I had that guitar. I mean, it's a double humbucker Jaguar with a Strat trim, so it's like, it's going to be fun. It's not like all bells and whistles. It's a pretty basic concept, but that Silver Sparkle one was, it had that big chunky flake in it.
Yeah.
Those were so cool.
They ended up reissuing these a few years later, but they were definitely not as hot.
Yeah.
By that point.
Totally.
And I think it's, they moved the production. All of the Vista series are made in Japan.
Didn't they eventually do a Mexican Jagmaster? Or maybe that came first. I think there was a Mexican Jagmaster.
Did they call it a Jagmaster, or was it just like a Jaguar, vintage modified or not vintage modified?
No, I think they had specifically a Jagmaster.
Mm. This was at a music go round in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Coming in number 8. This was, I think, a really cool one. This is a Squire SQ Serial Telecaster Custom 1983 in black. This one sold for $1,000.
Now we're into vintage territory.
It's wild to me that these
42-year-old guitar,
these 80s Squires are $1,000. I remember when you could find, even the E serials. I remember seeing the E serial, which is the 1984 to 1987 Squire. Being able to find those for under 300.
Right.
And now they're all in this 500 to 700 range, and the SQ at 1,000 is kind of nuts. Now,
is that 80s lumber, man? That was the good stuff. They don't grow trees the way they used to in the 80s. Remember how good wood was in the 80s?
This one, this one is a Telecaster Custom. So it's got on the headstock Telecaster Custom.
Mm-hmm.
And these are really cool. I have an SQ.
It is pretty cool.
The Squire neck that I have is an SQ.
And
if I saw a Telecaster Custom from this era, my uncle apparently has, I've seen it, I've played it, a Fender Japan, I think, from this era. That's also, I don't remember if it's a Telecaster Custom or the Telecaster Deluxe. It's been refinished because it took damage in a basement flooding. I need to talk to my aunt about those, see what she has.
I didn't actually know you had an uncle.
I did.
You did?
I did. I no longer do. I have other uncles.
Yeah,
just not that uncle.
Just not that uncle. Yeah.
Number 7.
Sorry for your loss.
We're 7.
I didn't know you had an uncle. Now you don't anymore.
7's over here.
Here we go.
This is a Squire Vista, another Vista, the Supersonic. It's also $1,000.
I'm not surprised that a Supersonic, an original one, is $1,000.
Is this an original finish? I've not seen this color on any other ones.
I do not know. I don't think I've seen this one either. It's like a teal.
Yeah, and I don't know that there was much of a description on this one.
From
what I remember,
there was a silver sparkle and there was a blue sparkle, but maybe it's just the photos or the light. But it looks lighter and more saturated to me. Yeah, because I remember the blue being pretty dark. But maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe this was the original blue. It looks stunning. It looks beautiful.
In some of the other pictures, it looks more blue. So I think just in this particular screen,
it's just the lighting.
It's coming out a little more green.
Yeah.
This one's been upgraded a little bit. It's got stock. It doesn't have the stock pickups. It's got the Seymour Duncan hot rodded set.
There you go.
That's actually, I'd say that was probably an upgrade over the original pickup.
It's a side grade, you know.
I think it's probably.
I think a collector would prefer the originals, but they'd probably be wrong. These pickups are probably better.
They'd probably prefer the originals, but then they also would be like, oh, I never play this because it sounds like dick. I don't know. Humbuckers, they all sound the same, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Number 6, this might be one of the newest guitars on this list.
This is definitely a modern classic now. These blew up like really quickly after they got discontinued. Like it was just a couple of years and suddenly it's like this has all happened like in the span of this show existing, I think.
Yeah, this is a 2016.
Yeah, there it is, the date right there.
Squire vintage modified baritone Jazzmaster in the Antigua finish. The baritone Jazzmasters, a lot of them are in kind of like what they kind of just missed the list, kind of like around $800. But these Antiguas have really like gone through the roof because it was like a extra limited run.
Right. And there's only so many people out there who love Antigua, and they barely ever get anything on the market. So when these became available, every Antigua nut out there had to have one.
I mean, you've got the Squire baritone Telecaster over here, and even aren't those going like 5.6, right? Something like that?
Which isn't crazy.
But what were they new for?
Yeah, $399.
Yeah, the price should be going down. They're mass-produced import instruments from like 4 years ago.
But it's kind of here's the thing: the smaller the niche, the more specific the product, the less they made of it, and the less likely they are to continue selling it. So it's like it's a self-limiting thing. They only did 2 runs of those, so there's only 4 colors out there. There's the black, there's the seafoam. I forget what the other colors were, but I know there's 4 total.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's like a metallic blue or something like that. Gosh, I can't remember now.
But these ones are the vintage modified baritones in general. People just want them.
They want them. Well, they're super cool. Like baritones already are super fun. You make a Jazzmaster baritone in Antigua. I want one. I don't need it, and I'm looking at it right now, and I want it.
You could have had this one for $1,400, right?
I know.
I think there are some cheaper ones probably up right now, but
these came out in 2016.
Yeah.
We did the podcast for a couple years before I started leaning hard into doing demos. If I had been doing demos really at all when this came out, I would have just bought one. I would have bought one. It came out a couple of years too early for me. Oh well.
Also from 2016, coming in at number 5 is the rare, according to the listing, and it is Squire by Fender Jarman Cribs Muzuar. It's got to be Muzuar, right?
Squire, you got to get back to this weird stuff, man.
Offset guitar, 2016. This is, I actually listened to this band before. I'd never listened to the band The Cribs. I don't really know anything about them. I was reading up. Apparently they were kind of like the British answer to like the Strokes.
Sure.
So there's like, in the US we had this wave in the early 2000s of like these indie rock bands like the Strokes and the Killers. And in the UK they had the Libertines and like Kaiser Chiefs. Were they British? I feel like they might have been British. And then there was another band called The Cribs. And they kind of like sit in that vibe. The Cribs kind of remind me of a mix of like the Strokes, what I was listening to, the Strokes and like Cursive.
All right.
Or like really it all just kind of sounds like Refused.
Okay.
Like when because Cribs is more aggressive than the Strokes.
All right, let's talk about the guitar.
The guitar is a Muzuar. Muzzwire.
I always loved this color.
In the US, I guess we would call it the Muzzwire. But in the UK, they would call it the Muzuar.
No, I think we'd call it Muzzwar here.
Muzzwar.
And over there, in the UK, they'd call it Muzuar.
Well, they don't call it a Mustang. So it'd still be a
they would still just roll that U weird.
Yeah. But this is the opposite of a Jagstang.
Muzuar.
Instead of being a half Jagstang, half Jaguar.
Oh, it totally is.
Half Mustang, it's half Mustang and half Jaguar.
Right. It's the missing piece of the puzzle. I've never really been a fan of this body. The little top horn doesn't go well with the large, like chunky bottom horn. I just wish that top horn had a little bit more chunk to it, you know. But I love the color.
Here, take my good hand.
Basically, like grab my little flipper.
Do you remember when you filmed that movie?
Shut up.
Because he looks like Chris Elliott, right? People?
I couldn't have filmed that movie. I was busy filming Kingpin.
That's true. That's true. Oh. Wait, was that because you look like Woody Harrelson or because you look like Jeff Daniels?
Yes.
I've never, again, I heard about this band when it happened, but I've never listened to them until today.
This is
a cool, they only made these for a short run.
Yeah.
And this is one of the few, like Squier artist models that were made. And actually I was kind of surprised that this list did not have either the Derek Whibley or Avril Lavigne Squires.
That's on you, man. You made the list.
Well, I just went off of like, I forgot those models existed until right now.
But you were going off of Reverb sold listings.
I was going off of Reverb sold listings.
Yeah. That means that the people aren't selling those.
Yeah,
they're sitting on them forever.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah, they know. That's an investment forever.
When Avril Lavigne becomes president, she's gonna
listen, man, don't jinx it.
You know, I figured it out.
I just don't want. I just don't want things to get so complicated. Okay.
Look, here's what's
we are officially the first people to make that joke prophesying that Avril Lavigne will somehow become the president of the United States of America.
Despite the fact that she's
Canadian,
not born in the United States. But can you imagine if she's president?
That's not stopping Musk.
And she's like on a diplomatic mission, though presidents don't exactly on diplomatic missions. And she's like, look, you're just a boy. And I'm just a girl. Can I make this any more obvious?
No, she's not.
This is perfect.
Listen, President Avril Lavigne's not just going to go on diplomatic missions. She's going to go on like covert assassination missions. We are going to have, Avril Lavigne as a president, and she's going to be an assassin at the same time. Like,
yeah,
she's not going to hire the CIA. She's not going to ask the CIA.
She is the CIA.
Yeah, she is their top agent. She's also the president. Like, make a movie out of it. I'll watch it.
She's the CIA, Canadian in action.
Right. I bet the Rock would sign on to play the bad guy. He doesn't play bad guys, so he would sign on. He'd be like, I will play the bad guy in this movie. This is a story that needs to be told.
If Avril Lavigne is president, who is her vice president? I feel like that laughter means you have a really good answer.
Oh my gosh, I'm just scrolling through things and all of it's stupid. I don't know, man.
I don't want it to be here X, but my first thought was Chad Kroeger from Nickelback.
The funniest thing would be if it was just some regular old white dude. Avril Lavigne and Vice President Richard Donahue. Like, it's just some senator from nowhere that no one's ever heard of. But she like handpicks him. She's like, this is my guy. He sees eye to eye with me on all my policies. I can trust him to be my vice president and backup assassin.
You ready for number 4, Ryan?
I'm ready, Steve.
This wraps up the Venuses. Number 4. The 1996 Squier Venus 12 in turquoise.
Always wanted one of these. There was one of these hanging in the window in a pawn shop over by the church. We walk by it all the time to go do our social activities out over there in North Park University area. It had a tag on it, like $7.99. Walked by it year after year after year. Like, man, I really want that guitar. And we were always walking by like when the pawn shop was closed because we were going to restaurants or bars or whatever.
Yeah.
Ah, man.
Now you could have listed it on Reverb for $1,700.
Always wanted one of these. And the thing is, like, they have the version that's got a humbucker and a single coil in the neck, and it's the 6-string version. I don't want the humbucker. I want these split 12 pickups, but I want it to be the 6-string version. And I know I could have strung it as a 6-string. I know. I should have just bought it.
It's too late, baby.
It's too late. I mean, I still could buy one.
Yeah,
it's not $7.99 anymore.
$1,700.
Also, like $7.99. That was like 20 years ago.
Yeah. 3 and 2. I feel like I copped out on this a little, but that's fine. It's my list.
Yeah, we're at the end of the list. Let's wrap it up.
Number 3 and number 2 are 19. One is an ST62, so that's like a 62 style Stratocaster.
I thought I was having deja vu. I was like, I thought Steve already showed me this.
The other one is an ST57. These ones are actually a little different from each other. So at $2,250 this one is from eBay.
These are entering into like legitimate vintage value.
Yeah.
Like this is like, you know, that's starting to get close to like if you wanted to buy like a late 60s, early 70s Mustang or something like that. Like a Fender, not a Squire.
This is a Japanese JV serial Squire. These are from like 1982. So this is the first run of Squire Japan Stratocasters that arguably like this is the era when people have claimed in books. I have that Squire history book. They talk about it, that when these guitars rolled off the line in 1982, they compared them to the guitars that were being made in Fender USA around that same time period. And they're like, holy shit, like we have to up our quality in the United States.
Right.
Because now again, how much of that is
there's always
hype, how much of that is real, I don't know. But I will say, like, I have an E series Strat. It's a little different. It's got that 12-inch radius. It did not make the list. But it is a fantastic Stratocaster.
Yeah.
So I have no doubt that these ST62s and the ST62 and the number 2, the ST57, that is actually sold for $3,000. Those are both Japanese domestic models, so they were not made for export.
Right.
I think
those are made for the Japanese by the Japanese.
Yeah. So they're super high quality. Now the thing that makes number 3 and number 2 different, and I don't know if you can tell.
I can tell right away, Steve.
What?
The fretboard material.
Oh, there's that too. What I was going to say is
you can't sneak that one by me.
The number 3 here, the ST62, it has the Squire Stratocaster by Fender logo on it. And it's not in this picture here.
Also, one is a 3-color and one's a 2-color.
Oh, the burst.
Yeah.
Is this a 2-color? This is 2 versus the 3 has the red. Right?
Yeah, the 3 has the red.
I've never because there's so much kind of bleeding in between stylistically, I could never keep those straight. This one, the ST57 at number 2, actually has a Fender Squire series headstock. I still included it because it was made in Japan. It would have been made in the same factories. And I don't think at that time they were necessarily considered like Fender Japan.
Sure.
Though I guess I don't know if these Fender JV Squire series models would have used the higher quality hardware, because sometimes the Squire Japan stuff used a lower grade hardware than the Fender Japan stuff, even though, again, as far as I know, they are made in the same factories. Before we get to number 1.
Number 1 on the list.
Number 1. We've got some honorable mentions.
We could have been doing this bit the whole time.
I know.
You want to do honorable mentions?
I want to do honorable. You do honorable mentions between number 2 and number 1. That's how lists work.
It's your list, bud.
There's a 1983 MIJ Squire Telecaster. I put this one on here because I just want to show some more of that SQ Squire love.
Yeah.
Again,
I saw that, and I knew why you put it on there, because that's
this one
Steve
looks
guitar.
so much like mine, except I've got the humbucker in the bridge.
Mini bucker in the neck, though.
This is super cool looking.
It's very classy.
I don't think it's $1,900. I don't think this is actually worth that, but $1,000 maybe.
Steve likes looking at it. That's a Steve guitar right there.
This is one of the only modded ones I put on here. This is a Squire Classic Vibe Telecaster, leather wrapped Waylon Jennings.
Super cool.
So somebody took a Classic Vibe Telecaster, probably a fairly recent manufacturer, and did the full leather tooling wrap, Waylon Jennings style, Waylon Jennings logo on the headstock and on the back of the body, on the back side of that wrap. I don't know how that's legal. Unless it was like commissioned.
I mean, if it's a one-off or a commission or something like that, or Who knows?
I
don't know.
saw a few of these though, so I don't
People
really
out-
know if there's a story.
People are out there are doing them. Is my guess.
$2,200 because it's kind of a mod. It seemed like kind of a mod. I didn't want to put on there.
Sure.
This one's currently for sale. It's actually
You mentioned this one already.
It's actually local. Yeah, this Fighting Metal Squire Stratocaster. It's $6,000. It says fighting metal to rock your socks off. Noiseless metal pickup with 2 humbuckers made to fight through anything by blasting metal tunes. It's got some kind of, I don't know if fighting metal is whatever this pick guard anime thing is happening.
Is that a Pokemon?
I don't know.
Oh.
But then it says, this one is my
I thought he
wife's.
caught them all.
Don't buy it. She'll get really angry, wink face. But you would be helping her get the Gibson she's saving for.
It sounds like he's the one that wants the Gibson.
Right. I don't know.
I don't know. Is it?
But it's local. We should hit this guy. It's only been listed for a month.
All right. So now the number one.
No, the last of the honorable mentions, and this is because this is kind of an interesting story. This is Courtney Love's Fender Squire Venus from personal. That apparently this person claims it's in New Zealand. It's listed for $6,200.
Jeez.
And they said that they bought this at Big Day Out 1999, where Courtney Love or Hole performed, and they were able to buy this guitar, or they won it or something.
Yeah.
And they said that it's been like their #1 gigging guitar for like 20 years, and now they want to pass it on.
So Courtney
for
Love,
$6,000.
Courtney Love might have had it for a day, and now they're the ones who put 30 years of use on it.
Yeah.
And they want $6,000 for it.
I mean, who knows if
all right.
I don't know if it was like sold from the stage or if it was like in their merch booth.
It's not even signed or anything.
No,
they don't have a picture of her holding it and handing it off to them. Like, okay, all right, settle down. You've been playing it 30 years. Maybe you should keep it. That's what I'm saying.
There was a piece of tape on it that says this can go bye-bye. So maybe that's Courtney Love's handwriting. I don't know.
Maybe.
Number 1, currently for sale on Reverb.
Here we go. Top
15.
The top most valuable Squire
dollars
of all time, as recorded right now.
There's a whole lot of X's on this. You know how when they do collaborations now, they don't call it like they don't, call it. Excuse me.
They don't call it that. That's a sneeze.
They got an X. They got those X's. This is a Swarovski X Fender X Hello Kitty.
Of course.
Stratocaster. This is a Kitty White custom electric guitar.
3-way collab.
Covered in Swarovski.
Well,
Swarovski. I can't pronounce that.
The top is covered. The back.
I thought the
side.
back.
No,
is the back
it's
not?
not.
Okay. Oh, disappointed.
I know. Could you imagine how much it would be worth if they covered the entire back,
probably another
and sides of the body?
Probably another $14,000.
And then what if they continued the theme and covered the entire back of the fretboard? And then what if they did the entire fretboard itself?
Then it wouldn't be playable.
I'm saying that what would this be worth? It wouldn't be playable. It's art, Steve. What would this be worth if every single piece of this, even the strings, were encrusted in jewels and gems?
Now you're just getting ridiculous.
I'm getting ridiculous. They want $15,000 for a Hello Kitty guitar because it's got some rhinestones on it.
Swarovski.
I know it's a branded crystal. Whatever.
I'm trying to see if there's any more of these.
Like legitimately, like I'm not calling bullshit on Hello Kitty guitar because it's an unquestionable icon.
Yeah.
The value is there. I'm calling bullshit on this crystal industry. I don't believe that there's any value to these crystals. I think it's just chunks of glass that you guys cut up.
I don't know. Is that what they are?
I don't know.
I really don't know.
I legitimately don't know. Someone school me in the comments and tell me why these crystals are so amazing. I'm calling BS.
Oh, they did do some upgrades, Ryan. This has a Fender American Vintage Stratocaster. Wait, has a Fender American Vintage intonation springs.
Why is it not called a Stratocaster?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is our second cat. This is our third cat guitar of the evening.
It is our third cat guitar of the evening.
Meow.
So that's it. That's the number one. $15,000.
Did you see it coming? Did you know it was going to be a Hello Kitty guitar? Did you enjoy Steve's list? Let us know down in the comment section. Let us know what you thought of this whole
Tell us what you thought.
It was kind of long.
What you thought? It was longer than I thought it was going to be.
Like those cattails.
Yeah. You know what? Is always just as long as I need them to be, though, Ryan?
My
strings from StringJoy.
Yeah.
If you want some strings that will fit on your guitar, you need to head on over to stringjoy.com.
They're not like other brands. They give you strings that won't reach all the way, so you have to pull them and make them stretch. StringJoy gives you strings that will fit on your guitar.
Funny story. And this is a testament to adaptation.
I can't wait to laugh.
I got a very early set of StringJoy bass strings.
Too long. That's the problem.
They weren't long enough for the bass that I had at the time. So a 34-inch scale, but it had a long headstock.
Right.
And it wasn't long enough.
Did StringJoy take care of you?
Yeah, I believe they did.
There you go.
Oh, good times.
That's right. StringJoy. They got strongs. They got strings. StringJoy strings. They got strings long enough for your guitar. That's our new pitch for StringJoy in 2025. And people are going to be like, I thought they were coated in human baby teeth. Yeah, they are. But now we're pitching this new unique selling proposition that these are the strings that are long enough for your guitar.
Ryan, this ad was sent by TJ Fretch. Oh, I should say for StringJoy, if you want to get some strings, use code HUM when you check out for 10% off. Click the link down below so they know that we sent you.
Absolutely.
This is an ESP. What is going on?
There's a lot going on with the screen grabs, man. Is someone trying to sell this thing for, where was the price on it? It's in one of these.
$6,000.
They want $6,000 for it. It is an ESP, and we know for some reason sometimes ESPs go for crazy, stupid money. Do we even have the... Okay, there's the picture of the front. And so this person has screen grabs of emails of them trying to contact ESP and figure out if this thing is real or fake. And ESP is like, well, that serial number is real, basically, if you read those confusing screen grabs. But it is an ESP with a Sonic graphic on it. And the guy said in one of his emails that he screen grabbed that the graphic is starting to peel off. And he wants the $6,000 for it. I do not understand this like Japanese ESP, like high dollar value, like
Sonic the Hedgehog stuff,
shredder guitar stuff. I understand the value in Sonic the Hedgehog, obviously. and actually a Sonic the Hedgehog themed shredder guitar makes the most sense of anything. You gotta go fast.
Some people really love these things. In one of the group chats I'm in, there's a guy who has a Knuckles. I think it's a Knuckles ESP. I do have questions about the authenticity on this as well, though, because I'm looking in that control cavity, and those electronics look sad.
I know, it looks like every part of this, all the close-up shots, just feel budget to me.
Like those pots look like mini pots. I guess I can't.
No, you know what? Yeah, I think they do look small. Those are mini pots.
And then doing the wiring with a zip tie, that feels very like...
I would expect for like, maybe we really, really, really super don't understand this high value ESP market that's out there. Is this the norm? Because I would expect for the money these things command that it would have like a tape shielded cavity.
Yeah.
That it would have full size alpha pots. That would have maybe not immaculate wiring, but at least cloth wiring or something like that. Or like some sort of braided wiring, or just wiring that looked super clean. This looks like looking at these cables, you could tell me that this was a $150 guitar and I would totally believe you.
It looks like something that Squire would have ESP would have, partnered with Sega to give away to kids at the movie premiere.
And maybe a lot of that is the fact that these pictures are dirty and dusty looking and grimy looking.
Oh, that doesn't help.
So what the headstock says Sonic. So this was probably made as, I don't know what to diagnose this as. If this is truly the quality of ESP, I don't understand it. I don't understand it because it doesn't look great to me.
I think maybe it was like a 25th anniversary of something. I don't know. I'm trying to find like an original listing for another one.
This looks like something that would have been produced for like a video game booth at a trade show.
These were made as part of the Sonic the Hedgehog 20th anniversary in 2011. ESP partnered with Sega in launching a Sonic-themed guitar for public access, which was originally designed and manufactured for Japanese composer Jun Senyo. 4 new models were released in 2016 as part of the Sonic the Hedgehog 25th anniversary. So I think maybe this is that 25th anniversary version. And of course, there's no pictures on here either.
Right. And no mention of what the price would have been.
No. Because it's a wiki for kids.
But this looks like a novelty guitar.
Yeah. But they all kind of have a little bit of a novelty vibe.
Yeah. So maybe this person is posting a joke price and we just don't get the joke because we're expecting an ESP to actually go for big money.
I think more than likely, I don't want to say this is 100% the case, but I think there's at least somewhat of a case that like maybe this person bought a fake.
That's totally possible.
Again, I just don't know. I have trouble believing that
and that's why would
$2,000 Sonic, a $2,000 ESP, like you said, would look that bad. But the various models in this era were like matted finishes. So, I mean, maybe.
I don't know. Steve is looking up all sorts of pictures that I'm not going to do the work to find later.
Well, because none of them are a useful picture anyway.
I know. I don't know. I wouldn't buy it.
I'm just trying to see if
I'm going to keep my $6,000.
Oh yeah, you should keep your $6,000.
Is this thing going to go fast? I don't know.
Oh, apparently this guy's having trouble selling it, so it ain't going that fast.
Well, that's the thing. He should get Sonic the Hedgehog to sign it.
Yeah.
He's made 3 movies now.
But he would sign it so fast the guitar would catch on fire.
What if you could get Jim Carrey to sign it and he signs it as Dr. Robotnik?
I saw this thing. I was listening to something the other day where somebody said that they've taken a fascination with the Jim Carrey's career trajectory because he keeps saying he's going to retire and then he comes back to make another Sonic movie.
Right. But it's a Sonic movie. You kind of have to. You know?
And one of the things
you got to finish the trilogy.
One of the things that this person said that they've kind of been tracking is what Jim Carrey's last lines are in all of his movies. And how like they're kind of like prophetic. So whatever his last line is in Sonic 3 is something that seems really deep in the context of like, what if those are the last words that Jim Carrey ever says on film?
I bet you could do that with a ton of actors.
Yeah, but I think it's funny to do that with Jim
would
Carrey.
Be interesting. Like if I was an actor and I had command over the projects that I chose to do, I would have some sort of clause in my agreements where I got to pick my last line. Like the last line in the movie, I get to pick what that is. But
like, I think the fact that he keeps coming out of retirement, like makes it a little more interesting.
He probably likes money.
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently having like $300 million or whatever, plus lifetime royalties on like the Truman Show isn't enough.
Right.
Ryan.
Yeah, Steve.
I don't have a good transition. I wish I did. But here's the folks who support us on Patreon. If you want to support the making of this show, I don't know, over at patreon.com.
We have some new ones, don't we?
We do have a few new ones at the $1 level. We've got Kid Pizza.
Kid Pizza. Yeah. Pizza for kids. Finally.
Shep666.
That's a fun name.
WS Gossett.
Shep666. Is that a reference to Bruce Campbell? Are you Bruce Campbell?
Wouldn't that be Shemp?
Maybe. All right. Who is the third one, Steve?
WS Gossett.
WS Gossett. All right. These names are so mysterious.
It's me, Wild Bill.
Wild Bill himself.
At the $5 level, Paul Puckett.
Paul Puckett is like a. It feels like a name out of a storybook.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a Harry Potter character.
And then
he is, Paul Puckett.
I read this name a few weeks ago.
He's my best friend, that Paul Puckett.
I'm not sure how many weeks ago, but a few weeks
ago.
Do
a good accent?
It was all right. But upgrading to the $25 level, so I just want to say thanks, which is our bragging rights level. Just want to give a acknowledgement and shout out to Jeremy. Joined us the bragging rights level. He can now brag to all of his friends that he supports 60 Cycle Hum at the $25 level.
Jeremy has spoken.
Yeah.
And it is a brag.
Ryan, you got anything new?
I kind of do actually. I just thought of
what's
it
new?
just now. So my brother who lives next door to me, he's a contractor and he's got like 2 junk hauling trailers. And he's always gone parked around on the street, and it's cool. It's cool to have your brother as a neighbor sometimes. So he had his junk trailer out on the street the other day, and there's all this junk in it, on account of being a junk trailer. And in the back of the junk trailer was like an old school, like salon style hair perming machine, like drops the dome down on your head.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at this thing like, that's a wild thing to throw away in a junk trailer. And then I noticed on the very top of it, it had knobs.
Oh, my.
And I stole the knobs off of a perm machine. So
Let me take a look at that knob.
It's a good knob. It's a good knob. I got 2 of them. Where'd the other one go?
Oh, you need like one of those flat-sided shaft. This is not.
No, I already checked it out. I could drill it out. I could make it work.
Oh,
yeah, it's pretty close. Cool. If I just drill it a little bit, it'll work on something. I've got 2 of them. I don't know where the other one went. But yeah, I stole knobs off of a salon machine. That's my what's new.
Somewhere at home, I've got a bag full of knobs because we were decommissioning a bunch of equipment at one of the places I worked.
I want to see those knobs.
I started taking all these old knobs off of things.
Legitimately do a video, Steve, where I sat here with a pile of knobs and just kind of like ranked them favorite to least favorite. You bring over your bag of knobs. Right. I want to do a knob episode.
Remind me next time. Remind me next time we record. We'll do it.
Right.
Ryan, this last ad.
I'm going to ask Threads what their favorite knob is. Tell us about the last ad.
There's too many Brits on Threads to ask that
That's
question.
what I've been saying. There's too many Brits there.
Yeah. This last ad was sent by Snarky. This is a Dragon guitar.
I finally picked it, Snarky.
It's $500. I think this is on Etsy. Crafted with meticulous detail, this electric guitar embodies the ferocity of a dragon, its body adorned with gleaming scales and flames that dance across its surface. This commands attention and is poised to ignite your stage and unleash attention to leave your audience spellbound. Before we get into this, I do want to say...
Do you need a guitar to guard all your gold?
Oh my gosh. I do want to say Snarky has been he's in like all of our premieres all the time pretty much. So he's a very big supporter of the channel, and his one family member that lives with him, his dog, has got some medical stuff going on, so he's got a GoFundMe going. So if you want to support a guy who spends a lot of time supporting us, I'll have the link down below.
Well, just tell Snarky to comment it in the comment section.
Or put it in the comment section, but also I'll probably put it in the description.
Sure.
Because I can.
Yeah. So we got a guitar that's also a dragon.
Yeah.
And they want $500 for it. It's a rare find. It's already in 20 carts, Steve. 20 plus carts. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I can believe it.
Really? I think that's amazing. There's 20 people out there? Like, I would be shocked to see that for any instrument.
They did the carving on the back and the front.
It's all over the place.
Pretty impressive.
There's like a lot of wood was either added to this, or they started with a chunk of wood that was huge.
Yeah,
to make this, because the details are bulbous.
The bulb.
Do you have a better word?
No.
It is big enough to just be a prop in like an amusement ride or something like that. I bet this thing's heavy.
It looks heavy.
Yeah, this thing's got to weigh like, I bet it's over 15 pounds.
So you're saying this dragon weighs a lot. It's not moving fast. Yeah, mahogany body.
This dragon.
Is mahogany heavy?
I think it depends on the tree and the part of the tree.
Sure, it depends.
It can be. Mahogany definitely can be heavy. The back plate says a lot about
the back plate.
What you're getting into here.
It's like, so everything about this, I feel
it's a whittler's guitar. This guitar was whittled into existence.
I feel like the front of it is like pretty. I think it's like 95% well done. If it's not like, Fender Game of Thrones, but as far as like amateur woodworking projects go, like I feel like this is pretty high up there.
There's a vibe to it where if you told me that this guitar had been made in like 1962, I would have been like, whoa, that's cool. Any later than like 1984, and I'm like, this is a woodshop project, isn't it?
Oh, I mean, this was made like last week.
Yeah, I could tell by the pickups in the neck.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And that's me judging the style of it.
And
I don't know. And here's the thing.
Like
the thing is, I think it's ugly.
The control cavity cover is like really forced. It's like
it's an afterthought. The guy had a scrap of wood. He's like, well, I need a cover. I'll whittle this while I'm on the back porch. But you can tell just by looking at the clear coat, like it's just kind of.
Oh, it's sticky. It looks like furniture.
But it's also like every cut is bumpy and lumpy and chisely. Yeah. It's all very hand done, which has its charm. It has that, like I was talking, like if it was early 60s, it would have that 60s charm to it. And I would understand the kind of vibe of the art.
Right. If this was 70s, I would have just thought that this person made this while watching the Hobbit animated.
If it's from the 70s, it matches their van, you know? And if it's from the 80s, it's because, same dude with the same van. He's still driving that Econo line around, you know?
Is there any Disney or like, what was that? Don Bluth? Did Don Bluth make any dragon movies?
Oh, he had to. Wasn't one of the cats in one of his movies named? Oh, that was the cat from Lady and the Tramp. It was named Dragon, I think.
I don't remember.
Or was that the cat? That might have been the cat from Secret of Nim, which was Don Bluth. I knew my brain was connecting something. I'm
just saying, like this art style makes me think of like Don Bluth. Like I said, Did Don Bluth do The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings?
No.
Who did that one?
The Hobbit. I forget the name of that organization, but they also did The Last Unicorn and a bunch of other stuff. I forget who that was. No, I see what you mean. You're talking that era of 70s. Yeah.
It's like this dragon wants to be rotoscoped so badly.
It does want to be rotoscoped.
And then animated.
I will say, like, they did creative stuff to wrap it around the guitar. Yeah. It's kind of the body, kind of a tail, and the claw comes out. I don't know. I think it's, for the most part, it's kind of ugly.
Right. It's got a marble for an eye.
I know.
They could have painted an eye.
This feels like a prop that would be in a Mystery Science Theater 3000 movie. And that eye would get the little the
little gleam,
the little X gleam on it, and you'd hear a little chime, and you'd be like, "Oh, I think that guitar is cursed by a real dragon," and then it's going to be used by a murderer or something.
All of this disparagement aside. $500.
If you love dragons, there's a $500 dragon guitar right there. I think that the head, I enjoy the head. It's the composition that I don't enjoy. Like the whole piece needs to be composed a little bit better. They're going in the right directions, but it feels like they sketched by carving. You know, it's
sure.
They got around to where the tail was going to be connecting. They're like, oh, I don't know what to do now. I don't want it to be a snake. I want it to be a dragon. And they kind of had to fudge their way through it. But yeah, you wrap it up, Steve.
I mean, I think you are making a good point. I think, around the area where the knobs are, they probably did the tail wrap around and they put the knobs on and they went, oh shoot, that looks weird. It's too bare. So like you said, like the flames, possibly an afterthought as well.
I will say this. If there was a $200 version of this, and a $1,000 version of this, and a $8,000 version of this, like these vast tiers of guitar manufacturing.
Right. If you could spend $500 on an amp, pedal board.
Right. No, but like I think this would be closer to the $1,000 tier. Okay. Like this is not a $200 tier Dragon guitar that would have been photo printed or cut out by a CNC that just spits out this carving and then they slap a guitar neck on it.
Yeah.
Like this is in the tier of like, someone handcrafted this.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like I said, $500. I'm surprised. We've seen stuff like this where they're asking like $3,000.
No, yeah,
for like this same level of whatever. So
it has a certain van life charm to it. If I was looking to complete my my wizard van persona, if I'm decorating the inside of a wizard spray painted van that's got planets and dragons and stuff on the outside, and the inside is purple shag carpet and a disco ball, this thing is going behind glass hanging on the wall in there. Like, and there's going to be a smoke machine and everything. Like, it's part of the motif.
Yeah, you need this for your Jethro Tull cover band. Ryan, we got to pick a best ad.
Do we? It's Cattails.
It's Cattail.
Yeah.
It's Cattail.
Congratulations, Ralph Pacheco. We knew from the get-go. Yeah. It was his cats.
Why did we even record this episode?
I said we could have stopped.
No, I know.
We had a whole topic to do, and we got to make it seem fair by showing the other ads.
Oh my gosh. Where did my song for this week go?
I don't know.
There it is, right there. This song was sent by Blue Light Special. He says, our band, Blue Light Special, is releasing a new EP. Thought I'd throw you guys a tune to check out on the podcast. It's called True, and it's a 6+ minute alt country epic. So let your listeners know to buckle in.
Here we go.
For the long haul. We originally thought we'd do a radio-friendly 4-minute edit, but realistically, anyone crazy enough to listen for 4 minutes will surely listen for 6.
Listen, we see the view count when the song starts hitting. We're watching the premiere chat. If you guys leave while the song plays, we know that you can't hang.
Yeah.
We know that you don't have what it takes. You're not tough enough.
It will be available on all the major streaming platforms and our Bandcamp at the start of November. This is a worldwide exclusive premiere right here.
Here we go.
Except we're playing it almost 3 months after it was sent in.
They've been waiting for this moment.
The horse dance carves a path towards our seats. I'm dressed in the night, hoping to hide my insecurity. A harsh word cuts the line from you to me. I'd rather know, even though it validates my fears. But I never know what you're feeling, except for now and then when we're alone. And I cannot get my head around the fact that I am in this by myself. You're not telling me, but it's true. You don't feel the same as I do. I'm just being me. Why can't you just be you? Real brave, or as brave as you can be. You never know if it'll go, or if it's yours to keep. First days, grind the lens through which we see. I've been clear from the start what I'm not and who I've always been.
cool.
That is a certified crying in your beer country blues jam. It was like 6 minutes, right?
Yeah.
It's not long enough. That's the sort of song.
You want it to be longer.
That's the sort of song where by the time it gets to the end, like you're halfway into your beer and you're sobbing. You need more time, or you definitely need a song that's going to carry you through a little bit, and then a third song that's going to help lift you out. Where you get to the end of that third song, and you're like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to be all right.
Yeah,
but you need that 3-song set to take you through your emotional moment.
If you paired it with a second song to take that transition there, or that little wind down at the end, and you paired it with a second song that instead of winding down it picked up, then you could have a full-on like Freebird moment.
I bet there's someone out there
going on here.
who
12-minute jam song.
It's probably happened a bunch of times, and maybe there's only been one time where it's been good enough to talk about. There's probably someone out there who's made an album that is each song is a different stage of grief or something like that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Where by the time you get to it, you've gone full circle, you know. Some prog band has done, the hero's journey as a concept album. That's old hat, huh?
Going through the 5 stages of grief or whatever.
I guess that's more of an EP, isn't it?
It's basically like every pop punk and emo album for like 15 years.
Yeah, but they're all about their girlfriends. Like,
yeah.
I wanted to be our wife. All right, bye everybody.
Stay grounded.